Hi. Let me start by introducing myself. My name is Kitty. My religious name, my priest name in my religion, Yubalukumi, is Yumi Yumi. And I am making this video right now. I have videos on YouTube called Kitty's Thoughts. But this isn't really a Kitty's Thoughts video, but it will be under the Kitty's Thoughts headings. But this is a message, not a thought. This is a message, so it is a difference. This is my message that I'm giving to the world, and I hope the world will listen to it. Anyone who has an esoteric mind will better understand what I'm going to say, and I ask anyone who has any sense of the esoterica to please use it when listening to this message. Now, I am making a video especially because I don't want anyone to stop me and interrupt me or tell me that I'm wrong or I'm being deluded or anything.
Like me?
Like my man. He says I'm deluded. But he's not as esoteric as me. And that's his problem. Now, I know, I don't believe, but I know that there are forces in this world that are working through people or with people to destroy the earth, to destroy God's work. That is these forces' purpose, is to destroy God's work. They know that they can't destroy God, so the next best thing would be to destroy God's work. Now, I used to think, when I was in my late teens and my early 20s, and I'd be thinking about the coming destruction of the world, because it was being said back then in far-off places that the world was coming to an end. I don't mean the little Christian apocalypse thing or revelation thing, but that we were killing the world, man himself. And I would just think, in a way, I would listen to it, and it was frightening and believable, but I would think, they can't be, because if a man is killing the world, when the world is killed, he kills himself too. And he has nothing to leave on to his descendants, and everyone who makes things, builds up dynasties. They know when they die, they want their descendants to carry on with it. So I said, they can't be destroying the world. We got to be reading it wrong. But then it came to me. I don't know where the answer came to me, but it came to me from my higher powers, you can say. And this was the answer. The answer was, these forces were not concerned with their existence on this world, this earth. Their existence is in other worlds. Their concern is in the other world where they come from or where they're going. And they would love to be known as the ones that was able to destroy God's work. That would be a prestige, a big status symbol. To be like, oh, he's one of the ones that destroyed God's work. That to them is their goal. Their reward, to be the ones that destroy God's work, to be known as that, and to get the status and reap the benefits of that. And we're helping them by not stopping them. They have us by the love of money. They still, people say you sell your soul to the devil for money. But the devil, in a way, is not exactly selling your soul, though you are. But what he does is he traps you for money, and you do all the stuff for money that you wouldn't do otherwise. And that's how they get you. Now, let me give you an example of of some of the indications that I know that there's evil forces behind the destroying of the earth. Let's take the exporting of oil from the Middle East to the rest of the world. They transport it by ocean, ships in the ocean. And they always, to this day, have big oil spills all the time. And they've been transporting oil for many, many years. Now you think of all the money that they make with this oil, it's probably trillions of dollars a year. If not trillions, at least hundreds of billions of dollars a year. You can't tell me they're not making hundreds of billions of dollars a year with this oil they're selling. And yet they haven't been able to build a leak-proof ship, an oil leak-proof ship to transport the oil in. I haven't even heard of them even trying to build something and not achieving it. I haven't even heard of them even trying to build something like that. Now, if you know the code of big business, they have many codes, and it's all about making money and keeping the money to themselves. But one of them is not to lose any money. Even money that they can afford to lose, they put money into investing into no longer losing that money. Even if they can afford to lose it, if you're making $1 million a day, and you can afford to lose $1,000 a day, they will invest $5,000 not to lose that $1,000 a day. That's big business rule. And they have not tried. I've never even heard of them trying to build such a ship to not spill the oil. My only conclusion is because it's helping to destroy the ocean. And that's why. That's one thing. Now, let's say cutting down the trees. Cutting down the trees, they say we need the trees for paper and for this and that. But they make the demand. And then say they have to supply the demand. But they've made the demand. That's another psychological thing. But they make the demand for all this cutting down the trees. And then they say so-called themselves supplying the demand. But what they're doing is cutting down our oxygen-making organisms that we need to breathe in. The green leaves on the trees is the only thing in this world that makes oxygen for us to breathe. Because once we breathe in the oxygen, it turns into, when we breathe it out, it's CO2. And we can't breathe that in. We don't make oxygen and breathe it in and breathe it back out. No. The trees take the CO2 that we breathe out, hold it in, and breathe out oxygen for us. So it's a very good system, a very good relationship. Now we're killing our oxygen-making organisms. And also, the trees hold in a lot of CO2. They breathe it in and they hold it. Unlike us, we can't hold the oxygen in our bodies like they do. They hold in a lot of CO2. And when you chop the tree down, it releases the carbon into the air. So we're losing the oxygen-making organism, because we just killed it. And it's released a lot of more CO2 in the air as opposed to the coal and the auto exhaust. Now we're releasing more CO2 from the trees. And then the trees also holding a lot of water. A lot of water. Hundreds of gallons of water one tree can hold. You know, for when there's no, or it's a drought. The tree holds the water. I didn't even know that. I saw a documentary on that. It was shocking to me. I didn't know the tree there that holds a hell of a lot of water. And we're killing that. And that's detrimental to the earth and to us. Now, 1878, before even cars were made, God gave us the knowledge of making clean energy, using solar energy, before we even made cars and stuff. All we had was coal. No oil, no cars that burned up the exhaust or none of that. And he gave this man, I forget his name, in Paris. It was 1878 was the World's Fair. And this man presented a solar energy converter. And he had these pipes going into this icebox, and he turned it on, and the pipe pulled in the sun's rays and turned and did something and hit the icebox and came out and served the audience, the crowd, looking at his exhibit, chilled drinks. That was in 1878. And then right after that, for some reason, the price of coal plummeted down so that it was no longer financially viable to finance building his solar converters. And for some reason, no one ever thought about picking it up when the price of coal went back up, which I'm sure it did. Because I'm sure the price of coal went down only to prevent people from investing into his solar converter, so that it wouldn't be built. That's the evil force. manipulating the field. That's my belief anyway. Then in 1913, this American in Egypt demonstrated that he had a solar converter and said that he could, with 150 miles in the Sahara Desert, build a solar conversion plant that would energize the industrial cities in the entire world. He even had several companies, a couple of countries, not companies, countries investing in helping him build this solar complex. So you know it must have been valid because these countries were investing in it. I forget which countries they were. But then, guess what? World War I broke out. So they took the pipes he was building and converted them into building guns and bullets and tanks and all kinds of weapons of war. And then after the war was over, whatever, no one thought about picking that up and making a solar conversion plant. And I don't know why, because solar energy conversion is cost efficient. And anybody knows a cost efficient business is the most profitable business you can make. You can have. And solar energy is cost efficient. And no one ever thought about building it again. And God gave us this knowledge so many years ago, before all this global warming stuff started taking effect or having an effect on the earth. Now we are in the stages of disaster with earth destruction that it could happen in our generation. Not our children's generation, our grandchildren's generation, our grandchildren's generation, and our generation. The world could be destroyed. In the next 20, 25 years, the world could be totally destroyed. The coral reefs are dying. We have 7 million tons of plastic in the ocean. That's like 1 million tons for each of one of the 7 seas. And oil spills, cutting down the trees, and God knows all other kind of environmental earth damaging things that are being done. The earth is being bombarded on all fronts. Water, land, air. All fronts of earth is being bombarded. And it's at destructive levels on all fronts. And we are not doing anything about it. I mean, we are in a way. We have these little organizations, Greenpeace, and this don't cut down the trees and all that. But it's like nothing compared to what's being done. It's like throwing a thimble of water on a blazing fire on the 911 fire, the 9/11 fire, the World Trade Center, throwing a bucket of water on that fire. That's what's being done now. We need to do something that rise up and stop it now, not now, but right now. We don't need no token Negro kind of effect. You know, like the token Negroes, so that you stop saying that you don't employ black people, you employ one black person and he's a token Negro. We have the hybrid cars. Now, if the auto industry really was interested in stopping the CO2 exhaust, they would make all the cars hybrid. It would be a demand that you must make hybrid cars. If we were seriously considering to stop the destruction of the earth, all cars would have to be hybrid. It would be law. And that's what we have to be. We have to make the law, and we can't go into making a law and going through all the law, changing all the years it takes to change the law and all that. We got to just stop it. We don't have the time. The time is now. It's like if you was to see someone beating your great-grandmother, not even your mother, because the earth is more than our mother. It's like our great-grandmother, because it's old, ancient, and loving and nurturing and always there for us. If you see somebody beating them and beating them to death, you're not going to stop to call the police. You're going to stop them from beating your grandmother right then. You're not going to stop and call the police. That's what we got to do with the earth. Right now, we got to stop it now. And that's what I'm saying. And I want to say also, every country in the world that's at war. Because also, I know with the forces that are doing this, that we're allowing them to do it. If we disallow them to do it, I'm sure we're going to have to go to war with them, because they're not going to just stop. They're going to use force to continue to do what they're doing. Even if we're not buying it from them, they're going to still continue to do it because it's destroying the earth. So in a way, they're making money destroying the earth with us. But if they can't make any money from us destroying the earth, they still want to destroy the earth, especially since they're so close to it. So I'm sure they use force. So all you countries that are at war with one another, if you would turn your attention to stop warring with each other and war against these people, you'll be doing the whole world a grand service. Even you terrorists, if y'all stop terrorizing our countries and other countries, whatever, and turn your attention to that too, it would be greatly appreciated. And maybe we'd stop hating you so much. Not that I hate you, but other people do. So, all I say is that we have to fight God's enemy. And even if you don't believe in God, you don't have to believe in God to know, and not believe, but to know that we are destroying this earth through evil forces, whether you believe in evil forces or not. We doing it ourselves, whatever you want to believe. Because it doesn't matter if it's God's world or the Big Bang world, the world is being destroyed and we need to fight to stop it. And that's all I have to say. I want to also say that I love everyone in the world except those forces and people that are attempting to destroy God's world. I can't love them because they don't love God. If they don't love God, I can't love them. And that's all I got to say. And I hope... Oh, also I'm going to say, if there's anybody here, I know I'm not a leader and I don't speak with conviction. I'm not a Malcolm X or Martin Luther King. So if there's anyone that's listening to this message and have a orderly command of the English language and can speak and believe in what I say, I would like for you to pick up my speech and pass it on and motivate more people, because I know I'm not a motivational speaker. So if anybody's motivational and can speak this and spread the message, I appreciate you picking up the message and spreading it with your auditory command. Thank you. Bye. Okay. So did I just the word? Oh.